Hello and welcome to Kelly's Wordy Reactions. So I'm going to get ready to hop right into this document. Just a second. All right, so once again, this is Kelly's Wordy Reactions. And I am going to read a fact sheet. And this fact sheet is coming from the National Immigration Law Center. You can look on with me if you'd like. I'm not going to be able to put it up from here. This is the not the platform. This is not streaming from a streaming site. So this is not the platform that I would be able to show this to you. So I'll just tell you where it is. This is nilc.org. So you can go over and look at nilc.org if you would like, and you will find this fact sheet there. So the National Immigration Law Center, once again, and then fact sheet, fact-checking immigrants, healthcare, and the 2025 tax and budget law. All right, so October 1st, 2025, in response to misinformation about the 2025 reconciliation law, in particular about undocumented immigrants' healthcare eligibility, this commentary addresses misleading statements and clarifies why they are highly distorted or entirely false. Okay, background. In response to widespread misinformation about the 2025 reconciliation law, particularly claims around health care cuts and immigrants, the National Immigration Law Center, NILC, has released the following resource. One common falsehood suggests that undocumented immigrants will lose health insurance eligibility under the new law. This claim is not only inaccurate, but also serves to distract from the truth about this deeply unpopular legislation. This commentary addresses those misleading statements and clarifies why they are either highly distorted or entirely false. Hi, Elizabeth Fisher. Hello. Thank you for stopping in. Okay, if you just got here, I'm reading from nilc.org. We're reading a fact sheet on the situation with the immigrant health care. And for the purposes of respecting the people, we're going to be using their words of lawful immigrant and undocumented immigrant. Let's see, Plague Nick. So hello, thank you for stopping in. All right, so I read through the little forward in the background, so let's get into the meat of the document. Did undocumented immigrants lose eligibility under the reconciliation law? That's the question. The answer is no. For a full description of the law's policies, see this series of fact sheets from NILC. Because undocumented immigrants have been unjustly excluded from the federal benefits their tax dollars pay for, going back decades. Congress was not able to change their eligibility. Instead, Congress ended federal funding for many lawfully present immigrants for Affordable Care Act subsidies, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, Medicare, Medicaid, and the Children's Health Insurance Program, which is called CHIP. All right. Now, the following groups of lawfully present immigrants lost eligibility for all these programs. Let me repeat that. The following groups of lawfully present immigrants lost eligibility for all these programs. So these are the lawfully present immigrants in the country. These are refugees, asylum recipients, people paroled into the U.S. for more than 1 year, survivors of trafficking and other crimes, people with the letter T visas, survivors of domestic violence, those with a petition under the Violence Against Women Act, people granted withholding of deportation / removal and conditional entrance. Now, the following groups of lawfully present immigrants lost eligibility for ACA subsidies. So the first group that I read was the lawfully present immigrants who lost eligibility for all programs. And all programs was the ACA subsidies, the SNAP, basically food stamp program, Medicare, Medicaid, and CHIP. So lawful, not undocumented, lawfully present immigrants. Now, again, this group of lawfully present immigrants lost eligibility for ACA subsidies. Number one, green card holders who are in the Medicaid waiting period and under 100% of the federal poverty line. Number two, people paroled into the U.S. for less than 1 year. Number three, people with temporary protected status. Number four, people with non-immigrant visa, with a non-immigrant visa. I mean, with that 1, 2, 3, 4. Number five, people who have applied for T or U visas. Number six, people granted employment authorization. Number seven, family unity beneficiaries. Number eight, individuals granted deferred enforced departure or deferred action, excluding DACA recipients who are now excluded due to Trump administration regulations. I don't know what number I'm on, so I'm just going to say next. Next, individuals under the age of 14 with a pending application for adjustment of status, asylum, withholding of removal, or for protection under the Convention Against Torture. Next, individuals granted withholding of removal under the regulations implementing the Convention Against Torture. And the last one, individuals with a pending or approved petition for classification as a special immigrant juvenile. Going back to the reason I named all these people off, these are this is the group of lawfully present immigrants who lost eligibility for ACA subsidies. Okay, so that means they already had their benefit eligibility, but due to the big beautiful bill, they no longer have it. All right, moving on. This is a question. Did the Congressional Budget Office say the law cuts spending on undocumented immigrants? Let's read that again. Did the Congressional Budget Office say the law cuts spending on undocumented immigrants? Okay, that's the question. So the answer is mostly no. Those making these claims justify them by citing the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, the official scorekeeper for Congress, but they misinterpret the data. CBO issued a letter in August 2025 stating that 1.2 non-citizens will lose ACA subsidy eligibility because of the new restrictions on immigrants. 900,000 people will lose health coverage due to no longer having an eligible immigration status, and 300,000 due to the ban on low-income green card holders receiving ACA coverage while they are in a Medicaid waiting period. Some have falsely asserted that these people are undocumented, but CBO said no such thing. All of those people losing health coverage are among the list of lawfully present immigrants above. The reconciliation law also included new red tape for those applying for coverage under the ACA. Previously, people who faced challenges getting all the required documents together could receive health care for 90 days while navigating this complex process. The new law bans this flexibility, causing people to go without coverage instead. Some have falsely asserted that these people are ineligible immigrants, but there is no evidence to suggest this is true. Most likely, these people, such as older and unhoused Americans who face challenges obtaining vital documents. Most likely, these are people, such as older unhoused Americans who face challenges obtaining vital documents like birth certificates. Okay, once again, I'm going to go back, not really go back, but just let you guys know where I'm reading this from. This is NILC.org, National Immigration Law Center. All right, and this is a fact sheet. Now, I'm going to see how it goes to take this off. And let's carry on. All right, so let me find my place. Okay, so next question. Did the law cut off undocumented immigrants from emergency care funds? I'll read that again. Okay, let's see. Brazella. I'm going to do my best. Brazella Feizuya. Hi. Thanks for stopping in. All right. So, last time, did the law cut off undocumented immigrants from emergency care funds? The answer, no. It is states and hospitals that lose funds. Under federal law, someone in a medical emergency cannot be denied care. Doctors and hospitals that provide care typically will get paid for this care afterwards by the patient's insurance company or by a program like Medicaid. However, because many immigrants, both lawfully present and undocumented, are excluded from Medicaid, doctors would not ordinarily get paid for providing emergency care to them. Emergency Medicaid is a program to offset the costs of this legally required emergency care. It offers limited reimbursement with the costs shared by states and the federal government for healthcare providers who treat someone who is ineligible for Medicaid of their immigration status. The 2025 reconciliation bill kept this program but reduced the federal share of funding for patients who would have been eligible for expanded Medicaid under the ACA. This will result in budget crunched states and healthcare providers receiving $177 million less in federal funds, but it does not change eligibility for this important uncompensated care program. Okay, let me see what this is saying. Just one moment. Did that. All right, I'm just trying to see what they're trying to tell me here. Okay. Make sure. Okay, all right. Where was I? Emergency Medicaid. Okay, last sentence was, this will result in budget crunch states and healthcare providers receiving $177 million less in federal funds, but it does not change eligibility for this important uncompensated care program. Okay, some have similarly distorted a 2024 letter from CBO, which calculated state and federal governments spent $27 billion on emergency Medicaid spending over a 7-year period. But much of this money goes to lawfully present immigrants who are ineligible for Medicaid, which CBO did not break out. Because this program compensates healthcare providers for emergency care that had to be provided regardless of the patient's ability to pay, no one should be losing eligibility for care as a result. Okay, next question. Did immigrants wrongfully get health care coverage and are now blocked from doing so? Let me state that again. Did immigrants wrongfully get health care coverage and are now blocked from doing so? And the answer is, some politicians have taken to claiming that immigrants they do not like are actually undocumented and therefore losing medical care under the reconciliation law. For instance, people who are fleeing danger and have been granted parole or applied for asylum have been considered lawfully present under the U.S. law for decades. Prior to the passage of the reconciliation law, such individuals could apply for subsidized private health insurance under the ACA, deeming them to be undocumented because a policymaker disagrees with the current immigration laws is irresponsible and inaccurate. Okay. Let's see. Does the law close a loophole allowing coverage of undocumented immigrants? And then the answer is no. It just cuts the Medicaid funding for states. Under federal law, states are allowed to tax healthcare providers in order to fund their share of spending on the Medicaid program. This has been falsely portrayed by some as a loophole that frees up states' funding for other healthcare programs like those that cover healthcare for immigrants excluded from federal programs. The new reconciliation law limits these provider taxes, effectively cutting all federal Medicaid funding to states. This will lead to millions of people going without health insurance and has nothing to do with immigrants. Lastly, all right, this is the last paragraph. Make no mistake, these falsehoods are part of a broader attack on immigrants in the U.S. The funds that could be going to people's health care are instead going to immigration enforcement. The presidential administration itself has taken away the immigration status and work authorization from 1.2 million people. This deprives them of the health care and other important supports that come with being able to work and best contribute to their families and communities. Congress must take every step to repeal this harmful and unpopular law, as well as other long-standing harmful restrictions on immigrants' access to health care, and not let these distractions deter them from doing so. All right, so that is the end. Let me just tell you where I'm finding this again. This is nilc.org. You can look this up. And I've been reading the fact sheet, fact-checking immigrants, healthcare, and the 2025 tax and budget law. Okay. Yeah, tax and budget law. Okay, just a moment. Hold, please. All right, thank you. I had to grab some water. Let's see. I'm going to take this subscriber mode down. I wasn't sure. There was a message I was getting, and I wasn't sure why I was getting it. So I changed the subscriber mode just to try to see if that was the problem. But do I have any comments? Any comments? I did turn the subscriber mode to anyone. Okay, Randy Williams. Hello, thank you for stopping in. Did you have any, first of all, did you hear the fact sheet being read? I put up a couple of short videos here recently about the government shutdown, and basically just trying to look and see what is the fully correct information. And so now this fact sheet seems to just be factual, but you know, that can be disputed, of course, but it seems to just be the facts. So I wanted to give like a longer overview, because people are, you know, people have a lot to say about who is the cause of the government shutdown and what it's all about, what each side, you know, actually wants. And of course, when you get the one or two statement sound bites from, you know, any news, of course, you know, we know that there's going to be more information behind those sound bites than just what they're giving us in a news clip, basically. So yeah, so this is a full comprehensive look at what the situation is with the health care for lawfully present immigrants, undocumented immigrants, what type of health care we provide within the country for both, and what those two groups of people did have access to, what those two groups of people lost access to, and what some of these this holdout is about. So does anybody have anything to bring to this discussion? I will read your comment if you make a comment that is viewable. I do see I've had already a couple of messages during the time of this stream, and one of them is being held for review. The next one is being held for review. I don't see these messages, and you know, if YouTube thinks that they're not respectful enough to be on the platform, then I'll just go with what they think. So if you would like the comment to be seen and read, then please put up your civilized comment, and we'll kick it around, toss it around, talk about it. But if you don't have anything respectful to say, I'm likely not even to see it because they're being held. So there's that. But if you've come in, thank you for stopping by. Let me go back over the folks that did stop by to say hi. If you're still here, Elizabeth, hello. Thank you for stopping in again. Someone named Plague Nick, hello. Thank you again for stopping in. Someone named Brazella Vezuya. Hello, and thank you for stopping in. You had a comment about Miriam Kenny. I don't know who that is. Oh, let's see. Then Randy Williams, if he's still here, or she, thank you again for stopping in. Kay Francis. Hi, Kay Francis. Thank you for stopping in. Let's see. Kay Francis says, uncivilized people in a civilized world. Oh, you know, that seems to be more and more the case. Let's see, half man, half pizza. Hello, just stopping in. Well, hello, half man, half pizza. Thank you. Is this a channel or just a name? That's interesting. Half man, half pizza. So again, okay. All right. Well, you know, that's you know, your prerogative. So we were talking about the this fact sheet over on the nilc.org. Like I was saying, I just wanted to bring more clarity to this whole immigrant healthcare, lawful immigrant, undocumented immigrant, because I actually, when I was looking into a Google AI earlier today to just kind of see like what is the thing, you know, because I'm sure there's a lot more to be said about these things than the quick sound bites that we hear in the news, whatever news channel you're looking at. They're not going in super deep. They're not even able to, you know, do these deep dives, I'm assuming. And everybody wants to make their side of the table look as good as possible. So I wanted to know exactly what is going on. And so I feel good about what I read. I'm sure there's more fact sheets out there, but this is the one that I found. It seems to be pretty, I mean, there's some opinion in here. I won't say that there's no opinion in here. It's pretty straightforward though. And but if you want to listen to the reading of it, then by all means, go scroll back. You can hear the entire thing read. And or if you would like to, makes you feel better to read it for yourself, then you can go over and find that on their website. Let's see. Kay Francis says, so not going to acknowledge my first comment. All I see, Kay Francis, is the one where it says uncivilized people in a civilized world. And I did read that. If you said something else, then it's YouTube is telling me the message is held for review on at least 2 messages. So I'm not it does pick up on some certain trigger words and things, I guess. Let's see. Oh, that's an interesting name. Crack Pipe. Hello, and thank you for stopping by. Okay. That is an interesting name. Favorite color? I don't know that I have one. I like all the colors. I like all the colors. Okay, let's see. So, Kay Francis, if you're still here, if you wanted to put that other, if you had another comment, I'll be happy to read it if YouTube shows it. Okay, D Warren. Hi, D Warren. Thank you for stopping in. Says also people owe Trumpet an apology. First, it was mad at him for taking away the food stamps he only took away from illegal immigrants. Then it was upset that he was sending the troops into Chicago. And then okay, I guess it cut off the rest of that. Some of the changes that some of the changes that are going to take place from the big beautiful bill, they haven't rolled out yet. So we're not actually seeing the full extent of those changes, like right when he did the big beautiful bill. So people will lose food stamps. And so yeah, people will. I've actually heard. I've actually heard of people who are losing Medicare to the extent to where they're having to get their family members from nursing home care because the nursing home has already been notified that of people that are not going to receive the benefit or enough benefit to pay them for their stay in the nursing home. So some of these things have actually started to hit, and some of the things have not taken effect yet because it hasn't been time for the things to take effect yet. But yes, people are definitely going to not have all the benefit that they had in the past. I just don't know what the criteria is, like who actually loses benefits and who gets to keep benefits, and if all benefits will be reduced by some certain amount. Those are the things that I don't know. But and only took away from illegal immigrants. If you are still here, D. Warren, if you scroll back and listen to this fact sheet that I read, that's not true. Lawfully present immigrants have lost, looks like all of the benefits that they were getting lawfully. They're lawfully present immigrants. And I gave a full list of lawfully present immigrants, One lawfully present immigrant is a green card holder who were in a Medicaid waiting period and under 100% of the federal poverty line. That's a type of lawful immigrant that lost eligibility for the ACA, Affordable Care Act. So it is there's truth to these things. It's not just nothing. All right. Hi, Zachary Watson. Thank you for stopping in. Crack pipe. I look like my favorite color is orange. Okay. And Dan Red. She is next engineer. Okay, let me slow down. She is next engineer from boat. I don't know what that means. Crack pipe, put a monkey with a hammer. Are you trying to say something derogatory, crack pipe? Okay, well, keep the monkeys to yourself, please. You know, I don't really want to do, racially charged. That's not my thing. And if you do things like that in the chat, somebody might come by and think, that's what kind of operation I'm running over here, and I'm not really for that type of deal. There's plenty of places where you can go and they like to get down like that. I'm not one of them. Let's see. Hello. Let's see. Let me try to get your name good. Fungus Magicus. Have you played Cookie Run Kingdom before? No, I haven't. And then the big back said, hi. Hello. Thank you for stopping in too. And then crack pipe with another interesting emoji. I don't even know what that one is. Maybe I can't let's see. Yeah, I don't know what that emoji is. What is that? So unfortunate. I don't know what these emojis are. Yeah, some of these aren't ones that my current subscribers use, so I don't know. You're back. Half Man Pizza. Do y'all have anything to say about the government shutdown? About the seems like a big no. About the information that I read. I don't know if you were here for the information that I read, but I did go over an entire lawful immigrant, undocumented immigrant fact sheet having to do with explaining what lawful immigrants had as far as health care, what has been basically taken away. And so basically it just gives more information around the arguments for the government being shut down and being reopened. Another message held for review. I don't know what you said or who you were. You said your crack pipe says your favorite cashier. Your favorite cashier. Where's the cashier work? And the person's name is literally, as in literally. Bargain Mart. Oh, your favorite cashier at Bargain Mart. Okay. Okay, and you said he's epic. Well, great. I hope that he's in the country lawfully, so that he doesn't have these undocumented immigrant problems. All right, let me go back a little bit and see. Okay, I see. Oh, okay. There was a comment that got held. And yeah, I see why. Okay. All right, let's see. Mason Smith. Hi, Mason Smith. Why can't we see you? Hello. Hello. Well, thank you for stopping in. Well, I was reading a fact sheet and basically just giving information about immigrants, healthcare, and the 2025 tax and budget law. I know a lot of people don't like live streams when you're not showing yourself, but I'm not in my studio area right now. And so I just really didn't want to do the camera unless I was there. So that's why you can't see me, but I'm here. I just didn't want to cam up from this space. But yeah, I do appreciate you coming by. Let's see, Pastor. Hi, Pastor. Let's see, what's your question? Are angry Black women the reason for absentee fathers? I don't know. I'm sorry, Pastor. I don't know how to answer that question. That's loaded. That's loaded. Now, I don't really do the angry Black women thing because in my lifetime, I've known almost every kind of people group. Let me think. I haven't known personally a lot of Asian. I'm just trying to think of all the groups of people that I've been like really closely acquainted to, but Indian, which is in Asia. So I've been very well acquainted with Indians, very well acquainted with, of course, Black Americans. I'm Black American, white Americans, Mexicans, as well as Mexican Americans. What other kind of groups? Yeah, that's probably, I don't really know anybody from Italy or anything like that, or Spain. I've been to France. Didn't really get to know many people there. I did get to know, yeah, I've got to know a couple of people, but I wasn't there long enough to really say I knew the people. But the, I guess the point I'd like to make in saying all this is, for me, all women can act the same under circumstances. To me, everybody acts like the same. So, yeah, everybody's capable of anger. Everybody's capable of, being nice and sweet. Everybody is capable of, going through periods of life when things are down and being a little, down and out. Everybody is capable of everything and, expresses every emotion. So because I've known so many people, and, just seen so much, I rarely get into that thing of talking about who does what, because we all do everything. We're human beings. Everybody runs the gamut of ranges of emotion, and in similar situations we pretty much all can do the same thing. So that's not a thing for me. Let's see. Mason, I don't know if you're still here. That is me on the photo. JJAII. What's a dingleberry? I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound good. I used to ask one of my children if he wanted to be a dingleberry head, and the way I used it was like, do you want to, not be intelligent? Do you want to be smart, or do you want to be dumb? And the way that I would say it, because he was a little kid, was, do you want to be a dingleberry head? You don't want to be a dingleberry head, do you? And so dingleberry is not good in my book, and I don't know what else people mean by it, so I just took that out. Let's see. Yeah, that is funny. That is so funny, because I don't have a, it's like not smart as far as I'm concerned. Okay, means cute for you. Okay, that's cute. That's fine. I just, if I was to hear that all the time, I would always think of, like, an idiot. Because that's what I meant by it when I said it. Do you want to be an idiot? But I said, nice little cute little way for kids. You don't want to be a dingleberry head, do you? Okay, well, let's read this book. All right, get your finger. Let's point to the words. Want to be smart and highly intelligent. All right. Okay, well, y'all, thank you so much for stopping in. Hey, thanks for coming back, Brazella. Just hanging out at this point because I finished the fact sheet And I know it's boring, and it's also late at night, and probably the people who are serious about it, maybe they'll see it in the morning. I did get a lot of, not a lot of comments, but I got a fair amount of comments back about the government shutdown stuff earlier. So I thought some people might want to talk about it, but probably late in most places. I know we're in different time zones and things like that. I like your voice. I like very much your voice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Isn't it funny how most people will tell you they don't like their voice? I've never really heard anybody say, I love my own voice. But I appreciate that. So yeah, we'll have to do the camera next time. But yeah, it's late and I'm away from my desk and I just didn't want to roam you guys all over the house with me. All right. Well, thank you all so much for stopping in. Leave your comments down below in the comments section once the live is over, if you have any. And also subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't already done that as well. All right. So thank y'all so much for coming in, and I will see you on the next one. And I'll try to do the camera next time. All right. Bye-bye.